The Decent Life Initiative is an initiative that was launched by President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi since the year 2019. It aims at raising the standards of living of more than 60 million Egyptians, especially in several governorates, rural areas and villages. Well, to shed more light on this, we have the pleasure to have this phono with Engineer Tariq Mansour, member of the Decent Life Initiative. Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, good afternoon, Ms. Sami. How are you? Hope to be fine.
Well, Engineer Mansour, how did you get to know about the Decent Life Initiative? How did you join this important initiative?
Yes, good afternoon. At the outset, I'd like to thank you for this call. It's an honor for me to talk about the Decent Life Initiative through and with your respectable audience. Regarding your question for how I joined the Decent Life Initiative, kindly I'd like to drag your attention that I joined the Presidential Leadership Program in 2015, and since this year, we all as a PLP community was keen to develop a realistic model for the disadvantaged citizens to promote their living conditions. So the matter started firstly from the youth, then became a real case as we are observing now. And we are talking about the Decent Life Initiative and also its achievements. Regarding the part you asked about my role, I'm responsible about the monitoring for the project execution at the initiative.
Yes, so Engineer Mansour, what are the main goals and objectives of the Decent Life Initiative, which is a presidential initiative, of course, launched by President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi?
Yeah, well, regarding this question, as you know, that Decent Life is supposed to be one of the leading initiatives that are targeting the underprivileged villages with the aim of improving the quality of life in the poorest area and disadvantaged also rural areas within framework of Egypt's sustainable development goals that Egypt already put as a strategy in 2030, as all of us are aware about this point. Accordingly, the initiative aims to develop many Egyptian villages with great investments estimated by billions Egyptians. So this initiative unified the effort for both the government and civil society as well. In my point of view, this kind of collaboration made a good mix to raise the life standards of these villages and along with improving also their living conditions. On the other side, there are several goals of the initiative that matched with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, as I clarified right now, which focus mainly on eliminating poverty and providing good health and education as well, besides ensuring good drinking water and sanitation services. So the initiative includes also four main pillars. First of them, raising living standards and investing in human capital. And secondly, developing infrastructure services. And the third point, improving the quality of facilities for the human development. Last but not least, achieving a sustainable development, including improving the accessibility of the basic service, such as we are facing now and observing health, education, water, and sanitation for the poorest villages.
Yes, Engineer Mansour, as we all know that the Decent Life Initiative started its first phase in Upper Egypt governorates. How do you see the importance of this after the Upper Egypt governorates were completely neglected before President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi came to office and started this initiative?
Yes, I agree with you on this point. It's a fact, no one can deny this point. Well, as I clarified before, that the Decent Life Initiative has four pillars. So the state was keen to improve citizens' life conditions, especially in Upper Egypt, as you mentioned right now, and it happened through developing infrastructure services, as well as also all we are seeing now at the streets, going to our homes and checking the newspapers and media, that all governmental entities and authorities are working together hand by hand. In my point of view, this initiative created a new idea for the work and a good atmosphere to implement all utilities that any normal person needs. For example, if we are talking about the implementing sewer network and how to ensure clean water network and building water filtration system. Also, we can say establishing wastewater treatment plant and implementing household gas connection, because it's a very important point. As you know, before, all of bodies and all the citizens was depending on only LPG, liquefied petroleum gas. So besides this matter, also installing electricity cables and optical fibers for communication silicon.
Yes.
In addition to that, we can say, yes, okay.
Yes, Engineer Mansour, we'd like to know the role that is played by the youth in this initiative, the Decent Life Initiative, whether youth who are working in the initiative or volunteering in this initiative, providing help for this initiative, and also the second part of the question, how would the youth who are not participating in the initiative would benefit from the initiative?
Yeah, it's a very important question, my dear. First, I want to thank you for raising this point, because we have been asking different times and different places about this matter. Definitely, youth plays an important role through whole life cycle of initiatives, for example, but not limited. As all us see in TVs and that huge campaigns, the medical campaigns, the medical convoys that covering tourist area along the project. Hence, this kind of campaigns need a well-organized member to ensure that service shall be delivered in optimum condition and through best practice. Also, during the project execution, Ms. Amal, you shall find that many persons are responsible to monitor different project deliverables, and also they played an important role to expedite any pending matters for the sake of initiative success. Indeed, we can say that youth gained a great benefit during their participation, as they became familiar with the project monitoring techniques and also gained a great experience in how to assess situations that we are facing. As you know, it's a huge project and we're facing a lot of cases, a lot of issues, a lot of matters. So how to deal with these cases and matters, and how to put a mechanism, and how to organize a high-level management event, as all of us observed, Mrs. Sisi as Mr. President, his visit along the whole Egypt governorate. Besides that, no one can deny that the initiative played an important role in raising the building standards, as I mentioned right now, which means investing in human capital. The other point, in my point of view, the fact that Decent Life Initiative is a huge matter and containing thousands of projects that are working simultaneously and in parallel, which is from perspective engineering, it is a very, very, very hard, I shall not say impossible, but it's very hard in different governorates, which means that many jobs had been offered and created for youth who are located at the project execution area. Another point, my dear, that youth gained from this initiative, implementing and establishment of huge number of youth center projects that all observing now, because also some of them are supposed to be new constructions, while others are replacements, and some of them rehabilitation in order to raise their efficiency. Regarding this part also, I'd like to highlight that the National Training Academy, NTA, presents the capacity building programs for the volunteers, as long as you asked about the volunteers. So the National Training Academy presents and delivers from different aspects of the initiative, whereas the Academy is currently training volunteers for Presidential Decent Life Initiative in countryside. Also, it provides a comprehensive education program.
Yes.
By the means that volunteers include, yes, my dear.
Yes, so Engineer Mansour, also the initiative have several achievements in the field of health. So nationwide, I mean in several governorates, give us an idea about this issue.
Yes, for the perspective of health, it's a very important matter. Obviously, there's an improvement in healthcare coverage by reasonable rates, as we are observing now, whereas many health units are implemented, and also initiative is working on establishing the medical centers and central hospitals in different governorates, besides also establishing and supplying ambulance points in civil villages So absolutely the initiative succeeded in establishing and developing and raising the efficiency of health units, medical centers that located within the village or near to the village that we are talking about. Furthermore, equipping and operating them with appropriate medical cadres and staff in order to upgrade the medical system in villages as well. So we are not focusing only for the new building and establishment, but also invest in the human itself for the doctors and nursing and all of this cost.
Yes, Engineer Mansour, also what are the benefits from implementing the water plants in Beni Suef and Monofia governorates?
Yeah, as I mentioned now that different companies are implementing water networks and also pumping stations and force main networks and building also a new treatment plant and other works required for the development of Egyptian countryside with a high quality. For sure, this shall serve the millions of citizens and contribute to raising the health and social level within the Egyptian villages. Also, I'd like to highlight that applying a new technology in this government minimize the cost at different cases and help the youth to obtain jobs for them.
Yes, I thank you very much for your time. Thank you for your valuable information. Engineer Tariq Mansour, a member of the Decent Life Initiative, thank you very much for joining us over the phone. And with this, my dear viewers, we come to the end of this episode of our program, Cairo Local Time. My name is Amal Mukhtar. Thank you for watching.
وأنني أعلن اليوم انطلاق هذا المشروع الطموح تنمية الريف المصري حياة كريمة.
مصر في وقت الشدة قادرة تحضن ولادها وتعيد المشاعر.